Hi viewers, in this video we will tap into the movie 2023 My Fault or Culpa Mia. We will discuss the movie story, summarize the plot, and explore the cast and characters. Additionally, we will cover the movie production details and box office performance. Finally, we will share the movie reviews and personal reactions. Let's begin with the movie story. Introduction of My Fault. Domingo González 2023 Spanish romantic My Fault, Spanish name is Culpa Mia, starring Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara in his first full-length film as a filmmaker. It is based on Mercedes Ron's story of the same name from Wattpad. Its IMDb rating is 6.3 out of 10. Noah, who is proud and independent at the age of 17, objects to living in a home surrounded by lavishness. There, she meets Nick, her new stepbrother, and right away it's obvious how their powerful personalities clash. The story of the movie. To move into the mansion of her mother Rafaela, new husband William Linster, Noah leaves her hometown with her mother Rafaela, leaving behind her best friend Betty and boyfriend Dan. They quickly develop a hateful relationship after she meets her stepbrother Nick. To help the family get to know one another better, Williams plan a dinner. Nick and Noah get into a fight once more over dinner. It's revealed to Noah that Nick, who happens to be uninformed about his father and Rafaela, smokes, studies law, and is a champion surfer. Midway through supper, Nick departs for his job. William and Rafaela grudgingly expect when Noah says she is leaving too, asking Nick to drop him at a home as his work is on their route. After Nick and Noah get into another altercation, Nick abandons Noah in the middle of the road. Later, Mario picks Noah up, and it's from him that she finds out Nick is attending a party. Noah learns that Nick is a playboy who hangs out with many of the girls at the party. She also meets Ronnie, who just so happened to be inserted. She also gets to know Gina, Leon, her boyfriend, and Nick, Paul, Anna. Jenna and Noah get along well right away. Ronnie's pal Tipo arrives to give Noah a drink during their celebration. Nick steps in, rescues Noah, and drives her home. Noah has a dream while high about her mother being attacked by someone. Nick uses Nea's phone to message her mother while she is with Jenna watching a movie, informing her that their problems have been resolved. Later she learns that Nick enjoys racing as well from Gina. Just before Nick is set to race, Noah and Gina enter the race. Nick wins his race despite initially being preoccupied, while she never reveals how she knows it. Gina and Leon are actually taken back by Noah as she also has some racing experience. The Leon wins his race as well when Noah sees a photo of Dan kissing her closest friend Betty. She is inspired to kiss Leonardo and tries to capture a picture of it. Nick steps in and asks her to go. Nick kisses her because she is so determined to do it, snaps a picture for her and leaves, asking her to wait in the car for Gina to come get her. Since Noah unintentionally started the vehicle, she was forced to compete against Ronnie, the next competitor, since the vehicle was at the starting line. Ronnie cheated, yet Noah was still able to defeat him. Because Ronnie claims he cheated and Nick was the one who was supposed to win, he is declared the winner. Nick must therefore give him 15,000 euros in addition to the Porsche he was driving. The altercation between Nick and Ronnie quickly turns into a gang war. It's obvious to Nick that Noah is uneasy. Nick's automobile is used to fetch her up by Gina and Leon. They drive off once Nick joins them. Nick stays away from the company gala that his father plans. Nick gives Noah a passionate kiss in their common area right after the banquet. When Rafaela notices that Noah is upset, she brings Dan to their house as Noah develops affection for Nick. She distances herself from Dan after getting into a second first fight with Ronnie. Nick is left with bruises. As Noah caters to Nick's injuries, they radicals their kiss on a date that ends with Nick fighting in a fight club. Nick goes out with Noah Gina, Leon, Mario, and Anna. Because of fear of the violence she has experienced throughout her life, Nick and Noah eventually part up. Notes from someone waiting for retribution keep coming to Noah, though she claims to be dead. It is her estranged father Jonas, whom Noah misidentifies as Dan. She is familiar with racing because Jonas was a racer. To track down Rafaela and Noah and extract retribution, Jonas used Ronnie, his cellmate. After learning from this, William asked Nick to watch Noah closely. Nick takes Anna home after she locks her in the closet and saves Noah from her. William finds out that Nick and Noah are having an unlawful relationship. On his mother's side, Nick also has Maggie as a second half sister. After having love on a beach, Nick and Noah declare the relationship is over, claiming it is not healthy for them. Ronnie later kidnapped Noah at Jonas' command. From the notes, William and Rafaela discover that Jonas is responsible for this. Making a cash demand of 1 million euros, Jonas calls Rafaela, with the police following along. William and Rafaela engaged in a conversation. Nick enters and locates the hideout using the insurance tractor in his Porsche. When Jonas finds out, he holds her hostage as Noah drives the Porsche in a car pursuit. With an inspector in tow, Nick drives after them. At the end of the chase, Jonas is killed by the inspector. After learning that Nick and Noah are dating, Rafaela begs William to put an end to this as soon as possible. Based on the Wattpad novel Culpa Mia by Mercedes Dawn, which was later developed into a book trilogy published by Penguin Random House, My Fault explored the theme. My Fault is a production of Bimigis Films, and Marbella Manvilla and Terminals were among the Costa del Sol places used for filming. The release date of My Fault or Culpa Mia was June 18, 2023, and its made premiere on Amazon Prime Video. My Fault achieved the best opening 3 days audience figures of any non-English local original in the history of the service, according to Amazon Prime. The cast and character guides of the movie. The movie My Fault, based on a Wattpad story written by Mercedes Dawn, Amazon Prime Video's My Fault, features a vast roster for characters played by talented actors set in a seaside town. My Fault followed Noah, a teenage girl whose mother marries a millionaire named William. To her dempsey, her mother's decision forces her out of her comfort zone, and she finds herself attending a new school in her final year. Her stepbrother Nick does not make things any better with his arrogant and cool demeanor towards her. However, when a turn of events put Noah's life in danger and Nick's come to her rescue, the two find themselves falling for one another. In all of its romantic drama, My Fault also features high-octane car racing scenes and dips its feet into themes surrounding the dire effects of childhood trauma. Its storyline, the character beats are further elevated by the performance of its cast members, including expansion stars like Nicole Wallace, Gabriel Guevara, and Marta Haves. Considering how its cast primarily holds its narrative together, here is a breakdown of the primary character and the respective actors who appeared in the Amazon Prime Video My Fault. Nicole Wallace as Noah, Gabriel Guevara as Nick, Marta Haves as Rafaela, Fran Berenguer as Ronnie, Ian Sanchez as William, Eva Royce as Gina, Ivan Mescoa as Petra, Nicole Wallace as Noah. Spanish actress Nicole Wallace del Barrio plays Noah in My Fault, while she is best known for her performance as Nora Grace in Scam Espanga. She also has other well-known roles in television shows like Brought and short films like Post Millennium. Her singing career includes singers like Bella, De Volume, and Impatient Eyes, which were released in 2021. She went on to star in both Your Fault and Our Fault, both set with 2024 release dates. Noah initially finds it hard to settle down in her new school and home after her mother marries an influential man named William. She also despises her stepbrother Nick because he is loose cannon and seems to do just about everything she hates in a man. However, their conflicts ultimately bring them closer and pave the way of their romance when Noah learns to emphasize with Nick. With what follows, she also gets romantically involved with him, but the forbidden nature of their step-sibling relationship poses many challenges. Gabriel Guevara as Nick. In My Fault, actor Gabriel Guevara portrays Nick born in 2001. The 22 years old star was a part of Scam Spanga like Nicole Wallace. In addition, he has also starred in other relatively absurd television shows such as Boss, You Are Nothing Special, and How to Screw It All Up. He almost lost his career in 2023 after an arrest, but was declared of the charges and has returned to continue making movies once again, including more culpable films. The Nick is William's only son in My Fault. He puts up a perfect image of himself in front of his parents, but lives a second and online food life outside the walls of his luxurious home. He is also part of an underground boxing club where he tries to vent his frustrations. Noah first snags Nick's attention when she races one of My Fault's country antagonists and even manages to beat him. Nick learns Noah has a romantic past that involves her abusive father, which helps him warm up to her and see her in a better light. Marta Hayes as Rafaela. Marta Hayes is best known for her breakthrough role as Emilia Ogard in the series El Entrando plays Rafaela in My Fault. She is also recognizable for briefly appearing in Spanish shows like Poque Vida, Hospital Center, and El Cosimaro. While appearing in My Fault, she also had a major role in the TV series Diaz Mijors, where she played the character of Sarah for 18 episodes. She also showed up in Equilateral in 2023 for one episode. In My Fault, Rafaela is Noah's mother who triggers the series of events that lead to Nick and Noah romance after she decided to marry Williams. For obvious reasons, when Rafaela finds out about Noah and Nick's relationship, she is not too happy about it and even expresses her concern to William. Later does she realize that it is already too late for her to stop her daughter from being with Noah. Fran Berenguer as Ronnie. Fran Berenguer, who was acting credit in TV shows like The Longest Night, Blowing Kisses, and Les Hobres de Paco, plays Ronnie in My Fault. While he has only been acting since 2017, Berenguer has several roles under his belt, but most of them are on a television show. Since his appearances in My Fault, he has appeared as Santas in one episode of Los Astristas, Primrose Tentatos, and has a role in the 2024 movie Invasion, a Spanish alien invasion movie. Ronnie is My Fault's secondary antagonist who tries manipulating Noah into racing him. To his surprise, Noah not only agrees to race but also defeats him with ease. Ronnie later starts working under Noah's stalker and even attempts to kidnap her. However, he eventually gets caught working for Noah's father and towards the end of My Fault gets sent to prison. My Fault's supporting cast and characters. Ian Sanchez as William. Spanish actor and film producer Ian Sanchez plays William, who is Nick's father. In My Fault, he works hard with his new wife to keep Noah and Nick apart, but fails in the end. Sanchez has played in the popular special series Hospital Center and La Reina del Sur. He also has the main role in the upcoming La Major de Mi Vida. Eva Ruiz as Gina. Eva Ruiz plays the role of Gina, one of Noah's friends in My Fault. This is Ruiz's only role to date, as she does not have any other credited before My Fault and has no known movies or TV shows lined up since her appearances in this film. Ian Mesqua as Peter. Ivan Mesqua portrays Noah's abusive father, Peter, in My Fault. The actor is best known for playing the lead role in Netflix's thought-provoking horror movie, The Platform. He also played the role of Haro in the Prime Video and Pratt has several TV roles in Spain, including Catro, Antenna 3, and New York's. My Fault is the latest top Spanish film on Amazon Prime, and it's complete mismatch of different idea in the worst way possible. There's a little bit of the after series sprinkled with the streaming scenes of 365 days. There's also influence of the Fast and Furious series alongside a healthy dose of cruel intentions too. Yes, the sequel, not the first movie. So, let's get the review of the movie. My Fault, also known as Culpa in Spanish, is a bit of a miss, but it's watchable miss all the same. This very often falls in the realm of absolute car crash, but just like seeing a pile up on the side of a highway, you feel bad for looking but cannot tear your eyes away from the horror. This scene remains centered on Noah, a plucky 17 years old who has to leave her town behind and move in with her mother's boyfriend. Will. He was his own company, a big fella and a hunky son called Nick, whom Noah hates until she doesn't, as it's immediately clear that there's some serious sexual tension between the pair. What ensues from her here are a bunches of cliches strung together with two crankly cringe dialogue. There are brief flickers of obstacle for the pair to overcome, including past trauma for Noah, an ex-boyfriend who comes back into the picture, and a half-assed attempt at a love triangle involving nice guy Mario. As the film reaches its third act, the pictures whiplashes away from cheesy romance and drops into all-out action thriller dirty. While the aerial part of the film portrays a couple of street races, the incredulous way this charges into its final act is hilariously mismanaged. I'm not going to spoil the big climax here, but good luck not laughing at the way the villain is dispatched by the end. There's right on top of everything else Culpa Mia tries to jungle, there's a mastermind sending threatening message to Noah too. As a result, all these competing ideas push aside anything as deep as character development or a compelling story. Noah and Nick might have unresolved past trauma, but they still play into archetypal tropes that we have seen a number of times across different films in the past. To make matter worse, everyone is in the film are so forgettable and bland that you will wonder why they are even watching. But watch it, you probably will. This absolutely fall on the side of being a guilty player, as you will find yourself probably curious to find out what happened next in the story. If you do decide to take the plug, be prepared to cring and laugh your way through this one. Just by how it begins, you already know that this is what it's all about. A lot of people that requires pills to be able to enjoy it, car races, bands, and a pinch of class struggle to all mixed with a very bizarre sauce come up with this film design only and exclusively for young people. Poor quality in the dialogues and situations, good editing thought, characters that go nowhere, a story that could have been spared, but this movie knows how to take advantage of its charm. Let me give you an example. After a crazy night out, the two protagonists, step-siblings, go to the beach and of course, he changes while joking with his friends about his sculpted abs, and just like all with all the nothingness in the world, he shows his back to his stepsister who cannot help but look at it. Now she will tell me this is a tribute to Fellini. Well, I don't know, maybe it is, or it's a film that always seeks to be easy and to please, with lots of partying and skin deep hormones, and audience that has come to see exactly what you will see here. And it also not bad to give the public what they want. A movie designed exclusively for a young audience that, without much cinematographic interest, threatens to change the lives for our youth forever and becomes something like the teen beat of other times. If loving each other is a sin, then yes, we are guilty. If viewers can get past the step-siblings trope, then My Fault is a great romance story. The film follows Noah, Nicole Wallace, a teenager who has to leave her town boyfriend and friends behind because her mother has remarried a rich guy that Noah barely knows. After arriving at her new home, she meets her new stepmother and stepbrother Nick. Nick depicts himself as the perfect golden child. Noah learns that even Nick has its secrets. The film was released on June 8, 2023 on Amazon Prime, and it is directed by Domingo González. Don't let me do that again. Right from the start of the movie, the film hints at Noah being involved in racing cars with her dad from a picture frame. However, the viewer doesn't know if she is good or even drove, as she could just been watching from the sideline and wore a matching uniform to support her father. This works well to build up to the part when Noah attends a race and gets stuck in the driver's seat of the competition. The film does a great job of letting the audience know more and more about Noah characters, as they are not just skin deep. They have layers, especially Noah, which is further highlighted throughout the rest of the night after the race. The use of flashbacks to show Noah's childhood is done very effectively, mainly because the fight scene between the two gangs somewhat mirrors the arguments between her parents. After her hand gets stabbed on during the fight, they manage to escape and Nick wraps a bandana around her injured hand. This is where the film shifts in Nick's character and is very effective, as it has a bit of foreshadowing rather than telling the Nick has other sides to his characters. The film has Nick getting along with a little girl, his sister Maddie, and showing how much she loves him. Maddie described Nick to Noah as the best brother. He even misses and important even to be with his little sister. This moment reveals the other side of Nick's character. It is an emotional technique that is done effectively, as it tries to help the audience fall in love with him. Furthermore, it shows a softer side of him beyond the exterior. You could it if you wanted to. Starring in the film is Gabriel Guevara as Nick. Guevara is a Spanish actor and model best known for How to Screw It All Up and Tomorrow is Tuesday. Starring alongside Guevara as Noah is Nicole Wallace. Wallace is a Spanish actress is best known for Broad and Scam Espanga, which she is also in with Guevara. Starring as the enemy in the film is Berenguer as Ronnie. Berenguer is an actor known for Blowing Kisses and The Longest Night. Finally, Nick's friends Gina, who welcome Noah to their group, is Eva Rose is a singer and is known more for her music rather than her acting. The chemistry between Nick and Noah's character was impeccable. Their intention makes the film really entertaining because the audience can believe the two are deeply attracted to each other. Nick originally calls Noah Little Sis toyingly, but switches to Frankers later in the film, hinting that his viewing of her has changed. Furthermore, when another guy tries to kiss Noah, Nick shows the guy off her and tells him that if he ever puts his hand on her again, he'll break them. This further highlights the change is how Nick sees Noah. Nick has a charisma that draws another to him, which is executed perfectly by Guevara, especially in the scene when Noah is trying to make sure her ex-boyfriend cannot get a good look at Nick's face. Nick becomes a teaser and it is just heightened the intensity. Moreover, Ronnie was very threatening as lined up with his character. Berenguer performed this very well, as his character even seems to have crazy eyes as time. Why do we good girls always get hooked on the bad boys? The cinematography in this film is truly stunning at all points. When Noah first leaves her home, right at the start of the film, she looks back on her childhood room. It might be hard to notice on the first watch, but there's a large tent in the center of her room, which seems to be first shape. The tent is not framed in the center of a shot, but it's a kind of hidden in the background, which is an interesting technique. The film doesn't reveal anything about it here, but it's a very impressive detail, mainly because the theme behind it are described later. Most of the songs on the soundtrack were in Spanish, which makes sense as it's initially a Spanish film, so unless the viewer speaks Spanish, some messages the songs will not be as well conveyed. For those who do not understand the language, These songs intensify emotional scenes and truly complete the film. There are a few songs in English and they work well to convey the messages for the scenes. In other words, the soundtrack is the icing on the cake. The buildings and the scenery shot towards the movie's end are really well done, even if the viewers doesn't know the movie was filmed in Spain. It's easy to tell that it was filmed in some European city because of the esteemed architecture. Even though Nick and Noah are driving and technically racing, the scenery around them looks extremely real. This is a little surprising as background scenes and what can be seen through a car window as shots like this usually look fake. This effect is most likely due to using a green screen as most actors are not usually the ones driving. Even if there is a stunt double, these scenes are not always as detailed. The falling action scenes when Noah is driving around with Nick close behind gives the feeling of a thrilled film. My Fault is not a typically romantic comedy as guns and violence are involved. And despite the thrilling nature of this scene, the film managed to romanticize the setting. The shots seem detailed and are visually enticing. Let's Stop Going Out Alone. The film is a fantastic watch for fans of Wattpad as it has a similar storyline to many popular Wattpad stories and started as a Wattpad story before becoming a novel. The film is very familiar to a movie like Purple Heart and After as it has a strong enemies to lover trope, so fans of those movies tropes just watch the film if they have not already. The film is highly entertaining and provides the escape that romantic comedy fans long for. However, here are some thrilling aspects of those fans who cannot have their favorite films be all about romance. The best part about the film is the intensity and chemistry between the main characters. They make the film so captivating. You can watch My Fault on Amazon Prime Video. So, stream it or skip it, My Fault on Amazon Video, a y'all fest about step-sibling who cannot control their desires. Soapy Spanish Room Damn My Fault, now streaming on Amazon Prime Video, pushes the boundaries of young adult a little closer to being several degrees tamer than State of Light but still cooler than the scalding cheese of something like it. Based on the first of a trilogy of books as Spanish Argentine novelist Mercedes Ron, the film stars Nicholas Ferris as a teenager who falls hard of her new stepbrother and makes us really uncomfortable about it. Seems like a programmatic narrative, but maybe the movie will find a way to wiggle about of an ethical country the situation present. So stream it or skip it. She's Noah, played by Ferris, and she takes no shit. Antagonize her and she'll slice you up. She is very much in lash out mood these days. Her mother Rafaela just married a Brazilian, so they are moving into his Grosjean mansion far away from Noah's school and boyfriend and friends, and she's not petty about it. She might be impressed with her far beyond fancy new home with its kids and butler and limos, but she'll damned if she says anything positive about anything right now. I'll admit that anything ever makes her happy. I just got here and anyone hates me already, she laments, showing an alarming lack of self-awareness. Teenagers write such drama. But then she meets her new stepbrother Nick, who walks into the room like someone just dumped water on the coals. Sizzle sizzle. They intensely hate each other, of course. They doth protest too much, harbor bent in spite of all blood that's rushing to their groins. Nick is 21 and ogling for entry into the Bad Boy Hall of Fame. Noah ends up at a party watching shirtless Nick lick Tona off a variety of thing. She ends up at another party watching Nick streak race his very expensive sports automobile against recently incinerated ganga creeps. She ends up at yet another party watching Nick Brankelbach cheerless burst. We get it. He is tough, he is cocky, he is violent, and if you put him on a platter with some A1 steak sauce, she will eat him alive. But you will find Noah is full of surprise at the street race party. She gets behind the wheel of Nick's Porsche and beat the main gangster creep, impressing him. See, her dad was a wrestler driver and taught her a thing or two before he ended up in jail for doing onion things. Things hinted at in recalling traumatic flashback. It's a narrative timeline that tells her dad has been incarcerated for many years now, so he apparently taught her how to drive when she was, 8 years old. I am not sure about the math of your narrative timeline here, Lou. Either way, we are here now watching Noah and Nick bicker until they finally mash face and participate in a totally hot scene, prompting up to ponder whether or not it's logically possible to try hump in a pool. And the romantic tubs only gets hotter from here, considering how forgotten and secret their thirsty lust is. Meanwhile, Noah keeps getting threatening texts and notes for an ominous antagonist, the identity of which is so obvious, even stepson's Jay. Cat could figure out who is not no time flat. Now will this plot resolve itself in a non-ridiculous manner? But this seems pretty much impossible. What movie will it remind you of? This is a teen romance drafting off the likes of Like Crazy or All the Bright Places with softer core, half-acid Fast and Furious race party sequence and a few oddie vibes. It's also recalled the After franchise. Performance worth watching. I feel like Wallace and Guevara could make a convincingly magnetic couple in a movie that was not so bluntly moronic. Maybe next time, kids. Memorable dialogue is "This is so embarrassing, I am crying as I type it." Nick, this is not right. Noah, it is right at all. Nick, you are my stepsister and you are 17. Noah, then kiss me until I am 18. How did I fall? Easy. He turned my world upside down. My fault is the book I find out from TikTok. I watched the movie first and then I thought, why not give it a read? This review aims to provide insight into the book and the movie adaptation. I will analyze the plot, character and writing style and give an overall rating. It will assist you in deciding whether to include in the book, the movie or both. My Fault, written by Mercedes Ron, is a captivating book that tells the story of a love-hate relationship between Noah and Nick. This book has been adapted into a movie that has caught the attention of many romance enthusiasts. I was surprised to find out that the book is very well written, as many books that go viral on TikTok are not really well written. There were no plot holes, no dragging, simple and steady storyline. The story centers around Noah and Nick, who are step-siblings and both are grappling with personal demons. Noah is dealing with the loss of her mother when she married a rich lawyer, while Nick is trying to come to terms with the absence of his father throughout his whole life and the leaving of his mother as long as time ago. The two step-siblings are forced to live together under one roof. Sparks fly and they fall in love, but their relationship is palled by misunderstanding, childhood trauma, and secrets. Mercedes Ron is a Spanish author who generated a massive following from the success of this book. She has since then gone on to write other books in the same genre. Key theme and plot overview. My Fault portrays the complexity of young love, grief, and forgiveness. The book highlights the struggle of dealing with personal demons without letting them ruin a promising relationship. Noah and Nick are relatable and complex characters who draws you into their world. They are well developed with unique personalities that complement each other. The secondary characters also contribute significantly to the story. Style and writing. Mercedes Ron's writing style is simple and easy to follow. She uses descriptive language that allows you to visualize the characters and scenes vividly. The narration follows seamlessly, making it easy to get lost in the story. The overall rating of the My Fault is an excellent, well-written book that has captivated me enough to read the full book. It's a must-read of anyone who loves a good romance novel filled with drama, love, and forgiveness. The book deserves 4 out of 5. Now go to the movie review. If you're a fan of the books, you might notice some major difference in the movie adaptation of My Fault. The movie takes some liberties in terms of the plot, but overall it managed to stay true to the heart of the story. One of the standout aspects of the movie is the casting and performances. Nick Lister and Gabriel Guevara deliver standout performances as Noah and Nick, respectively, bringing the chemistry between the two characters to life on screen. The supporting cast also did a commendable job in their roles. The visuals and soundtrack of My Fault are also noteworthy. The movie features some stunning shots and aesthetically pleasing cinematography. The soundtrack also complements the tone of the story well, adding to the overall emotional impact of the movie. Overall, My Fault is a captivating take on love and drama that manages to hold its own against the book. While there are some noticeable differences between the two, the movie managed to capture the heart of the story through its standout performances, stunning visuals, and emotional soundtracks. Comparison between movie and book. Plot and character difference are inevitable when adapting a book into a movie, and My Fault is no exception. While the book focuses more on the internal conflicts and thought of the main characters, the movie emphasizes the physical aspect of their relationship. The movie also skips some minor plot details and has a more conclusive ending. Overall, both versions did a great job of portraying the story, but the book provides a more in-depth look at the characters and their development. The book is recommended for those looking for a character-driven story, while the movie is more suited for those interested in the romance and drama aspect. The target audience for the book is young adult reader, whether the movie is aimed at a broader demographic. The book does a better job of exploring the characters and their emotions, while the movie excels at delivering a visually stunning and engaging romance. To sum up, the book and the movie both have their own strength and weakness. The book is more emotionally charged and character focused, while the movie has stronger features and a broader appeal. Ultimately, which one you prefer may depend on your personal taste and expectations. Fan reactions. The social media buzz surrounding My Fault has been overwhelming, with fans raving about the breathtaking romance and intense drama. However, critics have stressed that the plot seems unoriginal and melodramatic. This has sparked debates about whether the movie adds anything new to the genre or just rushes old cliches. Ultimately, what matters is what viewers have enjoyed the heart-wrenching tale of forbidden love and redemption. My Fault provides a great escape from reality and reminds us of the power of love to conquer all. Alright, so I just watched My Fault. The Spanish name is Culpa Mía, the Spanish romantic film from 2023, and to be honest, it's probably the dumbest movie I have ever seen. I get that some folk like the whole forbidden romance thing and the character chemistry was okay, but seriously, it's just not cool when it's within a family setup. The plot follows Noah, who moved to her mom's new husband's mansion, leaving everything behind: town, boyfriend, and friends. There she meets her stepbrother Nick, and despite their clashes, they somehow end up falling for each other, making it a forbidden love story. I guess exploring sexuality and attention among young adults can be intriguing, but for me, it's just too messed up when it's within a family. I totally enjoyed the car scenes, they were super intriguing and kept me hooked, but honestly, besides that, the whole movie plot can just stay in the realm of fiction. I cannot deal with this stuff being accepted in real life, it's just too much for the sensitivity. The movie title is My Fault, or the Spanish name is Culpa Mía 2023, a gripping tale of personal redemption and the weight of guilt. The movie rating is 4 out of 5 stars. The movie is directed by Domingo González, starring Gabriel Guevara as Nick, Nicole Wallace as Noah, Marta Hosses as Rafaela, Ian Sanchez as William Lister, Fran Berenguer as Ronnie, and Miscor as Jonas. The movie released on 8 June 2023. Directed by Domingo González, language is Spanish, written by Mercedes Ron, screenplay Domingo González. The movie is produced by Caroline Black, Alexi D. Arns. My Fault, Culpa Mía is a Spanish romantic film drama directed by Domingo González, which was released in early summer of 2023. The movie revolves around a teenage girl named Noah who has to leave her town, boyfriend, friends, and basically her whole life where she was lying at the time due to unfortunate circumstances. Like Noah's mother Rafaela, who got together with Noah's soon-to-be attractive boyfriend Nick's father, William Lister. The film focuses on the emotional journey of Noah, who is trying to come to terms with her situation and find a way to move on. The film is a perfect blend of drama and teenage romance, and it explores the theme of love, loss, passion, fear, and personal growth. The story is beautifully crafted, and the director has done indeed an excellent job in bringing out the emotional of the characters, making them unique and special. Every character in this movie is interesting from the very beginning to the middle of the movie and to the very end of the film. Yes, from the beginning to the finish, the growth and characteristics are incredible. It can make you really want to be a part in the movie. The film's cinematography is also noteworthy, with an impressive quality, and as it is beautifully captures the rich picture location of Spain. The director has done an excellent job of capturing the fancy looking locations. The camera work is beautiful, with many angles that shows character every side and the place they are at, and also the visuals are so stunning. The movie's soundtrack is also worth mentioning. The music is a perfect complement to the story and adds to the emotional impact of the film, making you feel everything that the human body and mind can possibly feel. The attractive lead actors of the film, Nicole Wallace, Noah and Gabriel Guevara Nick, have delivered an outstanding performances, bringing their character to life with their powerful acting skills. The chemistry between the two actors is palpable, incredible, award-worthy, and their on-screen romance is both heartwarming and heart-wrenching. Overall, My Fault is a must-watch for all fans of romantic dramas. The film has all the elements of a classic love story, but it also has a very fascinating depth and emotional complexity that sets it apart from their movies in the genre. The movie is relatable and touching as is intimidating to watch, and the characters are well developed and memorable. It is a movie that will make you either laugh, cry, or just feel all the emotions in between. In conclusion, My Fault is for sure a well-crafted and emotionally powerful movie that deserves all the praise it has received. It is a movie that will leave a never-ending impression on its viewers, and it is a testament to the talent of the director and the attractive actors that make you want to watch the movie so much more because of their amazing attractive books and act. If you are the one who is looking for a movie that will tug at your heartstrings and makes you believe in the power of love, then believe me that My Fault is the perfect movie for you. The movie is adapted from the book, so let's also dive into the review of the book. The book My Fault by Mercedes Ron is a forbidden romance novel that was originally released in 2017. There are 3 total books in the series, and My Fault is the first book in the series. The main characters in the book are Noah and Nick. Noah is a 17-year-old teenage girl getting uprooted from her life to go live with her mother's new husband and his son in Los Angeles. Nick is a 22-year-old that has grown up without his mother and was left to be raised by his millionaire father. Nick has always been a troublemaker, which had included joining a gang, smoking, and most importantly, illegal car races. His dad thought he finally had gotten Nick under control, but he could not have been first wrong. Meanwhile, Noah could not be more unhappy about the life-changing events Noah and Nick started off on the wrong foot when they first meet each other, and Noah could not stand the idea of Nick being her new step brother. After their first dinner as a family didn't go as planned, Nick is instructed by his father to take Noah home. They are in the car when they have an argument, and Nick kicks Noah out of the car and leaves her stranded in the middle of the road. When she managed to get picked by someone on the road, she intended to take her home, but she hears about a party and decided to go with the stranger. When they got there, she realizes it was a gang party and Nick was the leader. She was not expecting to see him because she had told his father that he was going to look over a case since he was studying to be a lawyer like his father. Noah and Nick did not know it yet, but the party would be the start to what would be their relationship. If it would make or break their relationship. Even with their parents being married, they cannot ignore their feelings for each other, even if they tried. With all the obstacles they have to overcome, with Noah's father being the biggest on yet, it will show if they are really meant to be together. The ending of the movie, My Fault, What Happened to Noah and Nick? Will there be a sequel? Noah, a teenager, is forced to leave the life when she had built to live with her mother and her new husband. Rafaela was excited about starting her life afresh, and she wanted to share her joy with Noah. My Fault or Culpa Mia begins with Noah arriving at the lavish property of Rafaela's husband, William Lister. The luxurious lifestyle did not attract Noah. She believed it was all too pretentious, and she did not want to lose touch with her true self. Noah met Nicholas, William's son, soon after arriving at the mansion. Nicholas was a proud man, and he was not too happy about having Noah around. But Noah's rebellious nature intrigued him from the get-go. Noah and Nicholas were devastated, and during their first dinner together as a family, Noah chose to poke fun at the stepbrother. Nicholas was a surfing champion studying to become a lawyer. He was basically the textbook perfect guy according to William and Rafaela. While Nicholas decided to leave dinner to work on a case, Noah expressed that she wanted to leave as well. Their parents asked Nicholas to drop Noah off at their home. Nicholas was talented, but he was not the good guy. He pretended to be in front of his parents. He was the life of parties and often raced cars and walks to calm his nerves. Nicholas stopped the car in the middle of the road when Noah mentioned his mother. Noah was stuck in the middle of nowhere and her phone ran out of battery. Thankfully, a stranger offered to drop her home, and it turned out they knew who Nick was. Noah agreed to accompany Mario to the party where Nick went. He was not working on a case. He left the dinner to have fun at a party. Most women at the party were desperate to grab Nick's attention, and he enjoyed every bit of it. Noah tries to blackmail him, saying that she would inform their parents about his lies, but soon she consumes packed drinks and Nick helped her get home safely. They agreed to keep their secrets from their parents. Noah attended the illegal car race Nicholas took part in. Nick was distracted by Noah's presence, but he managed to win the first race. When he watched Noah kiss another man, he was extremely bothered by it. Noah's boyfriend Dan cheated on her with her best friend, and she had received a picture of them kissing. She wanted to get back at them by kissing another man, so she kissed a random guy, but Nick decided to propose to kiss her for a picture. In exchange, she had to return home. Noah was happy with the deal. They were both physically attracted to each other, and even though they wanted to believe that they did it for the picture, they knew it was a lot more than just that. Noah had the picture and she sent it to Dan to prove her worth. Noah wanted for Gina in Nick's race car, and suddenly Ronnie, the Krug who had recently been released from prison, challenged her to race him. Noah tried her best to get out of the situation, but Ronnie was persistent. When he insulted her, she decided to teach him a lesson and agreed to compete. Noah's father was a car racer and she knew about the sport from a young age. She won the competition, but she soon realized that Ronnie had tricked her. According to the agreement between Ronnie and Nick, Nick was the one who had to participate in the fast race. And since he did not respect the rules of the competition, Ronnie asked him to hand over his car and the race money. A fight broke out when Ronnie insulted Noah and Nick punches him in the face. When thought Nick had lost his favorite car and money, he continues to care for Noah. Why was Noah troubled by her past? Nicholas noticed that Noah could not stand fight, and he later learned the reason behind them. As a little girl, Noah witnessed his domestic violence. Her father was an abusive man who tortured Rafaela. When the fights got out of hand, Rafaela hid Noah in the cupboard to protect her. Any sort of confined space reminded Noah of her traumatic past. The situation went out of control when her father attempted to kill Noah with a knife one day. Noah continued to live with the wound her father inflicted on her. He was sent to prison after the attack, and Noah's testimony was crucial in building the case against him. Nicholas realizes why Noah did not want him to engulf in violence. She could not tolerate that the man was falling in love with enjoyed violence and used it to express his frustration. While Nicholas and Noah had decided to distance themselves, when he learns about her past, he realized the reason behind her anger. He decided to protect Noah from her harm at all cost. My fault ending explain who was behind the envious threat messages. Throughout My Fault, Noah receives envious threat messages. She was confident that it was Ronnie threatening to destroy their simply because she won the challenge. Noah did not pay heed to the messages, but she kept them safe just in case she needed to take action against the messenger. Nick was in charge of protecting Noah, especially after he learned that Noah's father had been released from prison. Rafaela was worried that her ex-husband would try to harm Noah for speaking against him in the court. Despite the fact that society would never approve of their relationship, Nick and Noah were deeply in love. Noah could not control the way he felt about Noah, but being in a relationship with her stepsister was not an option. Before parting ways, Noah and Nicholas decided to spend one night together to celebrate their romance. The next morning, Nicholas and Noah drive to a convenience store to buy something. Nicholas enters the store while Noah waiting for him in the car. Suddenly, Ronnie appeared and forcefully pulled Noah out of the car. Noah was kidnapped, and by the time Nicholas stepped out of the car, she was gone. Nicholas checked the CCTV footage of the store and confirmed that it was Ronnie and his men who kidnapped Noah. When Noah woke up after being stabbed, she realized that her father was the mastermind behind the entire operation. He met Ronnie in prison and devised a plan to get back at his daughter. He demanded $1 million from William and Rafaela in exchange for Noah. William and Rafaela waited for him at the location he mentioned on the call, but he never arrived. Rafaela knew that he did not care for the money. He was simply doing it to make her and Noah suffer from the past. In the meantime, Nicholas realized that the insurance company had installed a tracking device in the vehicle. He had to run over to Ronnie after losing the race. The moment Nick arrived at the location, Noah's father and Noah left the garage in the red car. He had tracking devices set up all around the location when he knew that Nicholas was coming with the police to get him. My Fault comes to an end after an intense car chase. The police shots Noah's father, and both Noah and Nick were alive and well. Nick sneaked into Noah's room at night. After living through a nightmare, they were happy and they were still together, even though Nook and Nia had agreed to separate after the incident. Nick professed his love for Noah and the two were back together. Their relationship had to be kept secret, considering the prejudice they would face otherwise. So, where there'll be a sequel. A second part of My Fault might be released, considering that William and Rafaela know about Noah and Nick's relationship and are not happy about it. They of course cannot approve of their children being together. Noah is 17 and Rafaela is concerned about her daughter's well-being, and she will possibly come up with a plan to keep Noah and Nick separate. Also, Ronnie, after being released from prison, might hunt for Noah and Nick to make them pay back for the trouble he had to go through. We do not get too much about Nick's mother apart from the fact that she is mostly absent and busy with work. She had remarried and her daughter shared an adorable friendship with Nick. Maybe we will get to know more about Nick's mother in the second part. My Fault extend to explore forbidden relationship but showing a minor in a physical relationship with an adult who happens to be her stepmother was a tad too much. How often do you come across a film that gives you the hope of enjoying a guilty pleasure watch but ends up being the most frustrated 2 hours of life? Culpa Mia, largely translated to My Fault, is a Spanish Prime Video original written and directed by Domingo González and adapted from Mercedes Ron's novel of the same name. Culpa Mia is all about a tale of forbidden love gone wrong in entirety. The movie begins with Noah and her mother Rafaela moving in with her newly rich husband William Lister, uprooting the young 17-year-old life as she sucks over the idea of meeting new people. The stepfather turns out to be very accommodating. His oldest son Nicholas, aka Nick, is attracted to Noah and the feelings is mutual for her as well. Their forbidden stream encounters lead to many unforgettable scenes, and the kid try to normalize their relationship throughout the narrative. Along with that, there is a revenge infused into the plot, where one of the characters from their past make an appearance, interrogates Noah and her mother. How will they protect themselves this time? The setup of the movie is predictable right off the bat, so it is easy to just assume that it's going to happen from here on. The screenplay is rougher than because it is unable to carry 2 to 3 genders at a time, and that is why the storytelling and the narrative just fail. The movie begins as a forbidden teenage drama but soon maneuvers into an over-the-top soapy drama. At one point, it feels like a gangster gender film where there are car races and fights involved, and then it quickly splits into a revenge saga by the end. There is so much going on at time that Culpa Mia becomes infuriating. As a viewer, I cannot stress enough the number of times the writer and director have tried to normalize whatever the step-siblings were feeling for each other. The steamy scenes between Noah and Nick are two that lead the audience and a way to make them stay in the movie even though everything around them is crashing. This is no Jamie or Cersei situation because Noah and Nick's love story lacks depth. The takey dialogue is reminiscent of bad erotica novel which only makes the entire setup even more cringe. In just 2 hours of the movie, the writer and director introduce so many subplots that they forget to close them in their hurry to end the film. This is just for the Hindi film's audience. We get to see the leads of Culpa Mia watching Siddharth and Answar, the climactic car chase sequence to be precise because Nick and Noah happens to be racing car enthusiastic. I am not sure if this was added just to cater to the Indian audience, but it felt random. The narrative was overwhelming and after a while there was no way no salvage the film because Domingo González rallied on glitches plot lines, making the viewing experience poorly boring when you track and deliver a soapy drama with layers of action and revenge in it. It would be the idea to add a surprise element to at least make this a commercialized guilty pleasure film. The only inclusion here is the forbidden relationship. This drama touches upon the abusive past of two characters, but the writing is weak and it does let us understand the pain and the repercussion of it. The emotions just do not come out of the way they are supposed to. A subplot about Nick and his younger sister Maggie being abandoned by their mother is also introduced, but this is also left wide open with no conclusion. I am assuming it was added to make the lead actor seem as deeply distributed as the leading lady. This would be their way to bond with each other, but again, what bothers me as a woman and viewer is the ones being put on women who are mothers and the idea that their omnipotent sacrificial love is the only way to cure their children's health problem instead of doctors. How about Nick using his and his father's money to help his sister with her health issues? But again, if we try to bring in logic here, we would be wasting our times. The movie was badly directed as Domingo did not have any control over the whole narrative. There was some chemistry between the leads, but it was more uneasy than the audience wanting more screen time for the couple. The two leads are shockingly written, for there are no arc given to either of them. Noah's character is borderline irritating for someone who has forced abuse from her father as much as her mother has. Being a 17-year-old girl, she cannot understand that her mother probably wants to be happy. Her drive to stay in his family is the only way of her inappropriate attraction towards Nick. Engaging in a physical relationship with their step brother comes off as selfish, and the same can be said for Nick's character. Culpa may feel like a teenage version of the Netflix thrilled 365 days, just with a pinch of taboo topics. Culpa Mia's climax was the most predictable thing I have watched on screen. It ends with the possibility of a sequel now that Noah and Nick's parents are aware of their relationship and emotional attachment. The performance of all the actors Culpa Mia movie are abysmal. This happen to be good-looking people, but this is the only thing that keeps the audience hooked to the film till the end. Not one of them can bring out my emotion of any kind, which makes the film a plain waste of time. Only if the makers has tried some way to save the film from crashing and burning. 2 hours was too long for a film that was filled with random, risky encounter between a step-sibling. The name My Fault could very well be turned into the maker's fault for choosing to go ahead with this film. Culpa Mia is a big no. The movie is streamed on Amazon Prime Video. So, let me give you a movie introduction. So, this movie is begin with Noah and her mother Rafaela moving in with her newly rich husband, and they had William Lister, the name of their husband, and uprooting the young 17-year-old girl as she sulked over the idea of meeting new people. The stepfather turns out to be very accommodating. His oldest son Nick is attracted to Noah, his step sister, and the feelings is mutual for her as well. The forbidden steamy encounters lead to many unforgettable scenes, and the kids try to normalize their relationship throughout the narrative. My Fault movie facts and synopsis. Romance movies always have their own charm from the beginning of cinema history until now. Stories about love and relationship have taken an important place in the hearts of audience. What's more, if the story focuses on the journey of two teenagers who don't realize that they are in love and each other, it will definitely attract a lot of attention. My Fault, a new Spanish romance film, managed to take those elements and take them to the next level. In this film, the audience is faced with the love story of a pair of teenagers who struggle to understand and accept their feeling for one another. Coupled with the colorful background of teenage life, My Fault presents a story that can touch the hearts and minds of the audience. However, as with most romance stories, there is conflict which makes the story even more complicated and interesting. These who are in love turn out to be half-siblings. This conflict adds a new dimension to the story and increases the shock and tension in the storyline. For those of you who are curious and want to know more about this film, we have summarized some facts and synopsises about My Fault in more detail. So prepare yourself to explore more about this film and understand why it is one of the most anticipated romance films of the year. My Fault Synopsis. The film My Fault tells the story of Noah, a 17-year-old girl who is facing big change in her life. Noah, who initially lives happily with her friends, goes to school and dates, has to let go of all what her mother decided to remarry a wealthy man after they return from vacation. Her mother's new marriage brings Noah into a new environment that is foreign and challenging for her. Moving to a new house is not easy for Noah. She must adapt to her new environment and also her new family. In the midst of her adaptation, Noah meets Nick, a figure who will become her half-brother. However, the meeting was not sweet. Nick, who feels like an alien to Noah from the start, constantly complicates her life and makes her feel uncomfortable. However, Nick turns out to have another side that many people don't know about. Behind the facade of a good boy, Nick is involved in various inappropriate activities such as fighting, gambling, and illegal car racing. Nick's wild character, which would have driven Noah further away, actually attracted her. In an unexpected time, without them knowing it, a crush starts to grow between them and they fall in love with each other. However, their journey will not be easy. With their past full of trouble and secrets, can Noah and Nick find a way to make their relationship work? Will they be able to face the odds and fight for their love? The story of Noah and Nick will invite the audience to explore the complexities of real relationship in the midst of complicated and challenging situation. Why you should watch My Fault? Here are some reasons that make My Fault a film that you must watch. Heartwarming narrative. One of My Fault's main strengths is carefully designed storyline filled with deeply emotional moments. This is not just a story but a journey built through multiple layers of emotion, leading the audience to feel very struggle and joy of the characters. You will feel how moving the story is and maybe take a moment to reflect to feel and understand every details. Great acting performance. The players in the film have given the best performances. They not only act but portray their characters in such a real and emotional way that we as viewers feel involved in their journey. Every scene, every dialogue, and every expression they manage to bring us closer to the characters and make us feel as if we are part of the story. Meaningful moral message. Apart from being entertaining, My Fault also serves as a mirror of the audience to see and reflect on the important value of life. This film teaches us about the importance of forgiveness and learning from our own mistakes. Those My Fault not only present an enjoyable spectacle but also provide valuable and impactful lessons in our lives. With these reasons, don't hesitate to include My Fault in your list of films that you must watch. This is not only a film but also an emotional journey and valuable life lessons. 5 interesting facts about My Fault movie you may not know. Here are some interesting facts that you might not know about the film My Fault. From book pages to big screen. The film My Fault is actually an adaptation of the bestseller novel written by well-known writer. This novel has won numerous awards and received praise from critics and readers around the world, which makes it the perfect choice to be adapted into a film. Talented director. The film was directed by a director who has won international awards. His expression and creativity in making films has given My Fault an outstanding cinematic ethics and immersive storyline. Long production process. Making the film My Fault is not an overnight job. The film took over 2 years to produce, from pre-production to post-production. This reflects the production team's commitment and dedication to present high-quality films. Original filming location. Several scenes in My Fault were filmed in original location to provide a more realistic and authentic feel. This creates an immersive atmosphere for the audience, allowing them to feel as if they are actually in the story. Great soundtracks. The soundtracks from My Fault is one of the most prominent elements in the film, created by well-known musicians. This soundtrack has reached the top of various music charts and is a favorite among audience. The sounds on the soundtrack not only accompany the scene in the film, but also help to amplify the emotion and moods in the story. Verdicts. My Fault is a film that features a heartwarming story, strong acting performance, and various interesting facts that make it one of the best films of the year. So if you have not seen this film, don't wait any longer, grab your popcorn and get ready to be immersed in this unforgettable story. Enjoy watching. My Fault movie ending explained. Noah and Nick's forbidden love gets an unexpected twist with an open ending. My Fault ending explained. Here's everything you need to know about the movie, including its core plot and the ending explanation that hints at the sequel. Originally titled Culpa, My Fault is a Spanish romantic drama film that explores the theme of forbidden love and sexual attraction, defying family relationships. Starring the charismatic young leads Nicole Wallace, Noah and Gabriel Guevara, the movie generated acclaim and a cult following of their intense chemistry and edgy love story. Debuting on Amazon Prime in June 2023, My Fault has been the talk of the town of its surprising open ending. Here's everything you need to know about the movie, including its core plot and My Fault ending explanation at the hint at sequel. My Fault explores forbidden love, friendship, and romantic relationship. Directed by Domingo González, this Spanish romantic film follows a rebellious and strong-headed teen girl named Noah who is forced to leave her school friends and even boyfriend for her mother's new life. The movie begins with our female lead, Noah, shifting to her mother Rafaela's rich husband's William Leicester house. She later has a bitter encounter with William's son, Nicholas, who become her stepbrother. Their bitter chemistry worries their parents, who decide to give their children space and time so that they can both adjust to the new life. Despite the perfect-looking life and identity of an aspiring lawyer and professional surfer, Nicholas had a dark secret. He was doing illegal races. When Noah learns about Nick's hidden secret, she tries to blackmail him, and the two develops a strange bond as they agree to help each other. However, things turn void when their dynamic relationship builds up infatuation and desires. Noah later starts getting enemies threatening messages but ignores them, thinking it's a low-level prank. Soon, love sparks between the two when sexual attraction and romantic feelings transcend all other emotions, including jealousy and the love triangle. What follows next is a twisted kidnapping that turns Nick and Noah's lives upside down, with some family drama in the backdrop. My Fault ending with Noah's troubled past and more about the sequel. When Nick promises to leave the violent fights, assuring his love for Noah, the duo decided to celebrate their love and reunion by spending the night together. However, their romantic adventure takes a backseat when Noah is kidnapped by petty criminal Ronnie. The climax scene featured Nick getting focused on the track Noah, only to find out about her abusive father who kidnapped her. The story also unraveled the mysterious blackmail and threatening message to the Noah's biological father, who is now released from prison and kidnapped his own daughter with Ronnie's help. His ulterior motive to draw money from his ex-wife's new husband by using Noah as bait become clear with the thrilling climax scene. In the high-octane action scene, Nick and Noah showcase their driving skills as they replicate the action movie's 60-20 epic turn in the high-speed chasing. It is also results in Noah's father's death as the investigator shoots him dead in the chance encounter. In the post-credit scene, we see Nick entering Noah's room as they get closer to each other with a passionate kiss and a promise to stay beside each other. However, as the camera zooms out, we witness Rafaela and William with binocular in their hands and learning about their children's love affair. The couple also shows that they will have to do something to stop their relationship and evolving further. This open ending surely leaves viewers excited for the second part, which is expected to delve into Noah and Nick's separation as planned by their parents. It also seems to be bringing Ronnie back with the revenge motive and some promising romance and action. My Fault follows Noah, a beautiful, independent, proud, and brilliant young woman who doesn't need anyone. She has just moved into a mansion with her mother Rafaela, who has married Will, a wealthy billionaire with a 21-year-old son Nick, as they tend off their friction-filled attraction to each other. At the ending of the movie, Noah's mother is not happy with her daughter's development relationship with Nick. Noah must navigate her new life, her attraction to Nip, and a stalker as she is on the verge of turning into an adult. Also, she overcame the dimension from her past, which involved an abusive father who traumatized her as a small child. Noah's father is shot and killed by a detective while riding in the passenger seat of Nick's car. Noah kidnaps his daughter by having a local gangster's Ronnie drug and abducted her. When Nick figures out how to locate Patty, Noah, and Ronnie, since Ronnie has Nick's car, he uses his insurance tractor to find them. Patty forces his daughter to drive in a high-speed chase and holds her at gunpoint. While being chased by the police with Nick having a detective in his passenger seat, Noah and Patty are confronted at the end of a dig in a crowded marina. Nick pulls his car into the opposite end of the pair. They make eye contact. They must have perfect vision and immediately know what to do. Performing a 20-60 spin maneuver, they drive straight at each other and execute the maneuver spinning past each other. Noah ducks his head, Nick does the same. The detective then fires her gun. Patty is shot and killed. If you remember, Noah teaches Nick that maneuver while watching a movie, even though he thinks it's impossible. Noah says pulling the brake and turning the wheel 20 degrees to the right and 60 degrees to the left and accomplish this maneuver. Noah and Nick falls in love because the abdominal trauma has married them. Nick doesn't know his mother is abandoned by his stepmother and still decided to have a relationship with his younger stepsister, who has a chronic case of type 1 diabetes. Of course, Noah had a violent relationship with her father and she never had a father figure. You could also argue that Noah is a lot like her father. Noah comments during the fight that she enjoyed violence because it's upbrented her. Nick's father does comment that Noah's father is violent and the same people damage others because violence unbranded them. Based on pre-cycle programming, women are attracted to men like their fathers. However, when Nick apologizes and tells Noah he's done and that word, only then does she fall deeply beyond a physical attraction. At the end of My Fault, Noah's mother Rafaela says to her husband, "Will she have to do something?" She says that after we see Nick and Noah spend the night together is Nick's home, the guest house on his father's property. You can assume that Rafaela and Noah are upset with this arrangement for a few reasons. For one, Noah is only 17 years old and Nick is 22. It is important to note that Spain's stationary rape laws are for everyone under 16 years of age, even though in the film they talk about her not being 18 yet. Second, while it is perfectly legal to date or marry your step-sibling, this could also break up Rafaela and Will if the children break up. Obviously, they didn't grow up together and form a sibling bond. However, Noah may be right, Nick is a loose cannon like Noah's father and is not good enough for her. My Fault, that is also known as Culpa Mia, is a teen romance entering on Noah, a plucky 17 years old, has to leave her town behind and move in with her mother's boyfriend, Will. He has his own company, a big villa and a hunky son called Nick, whom Noah hates until she doesn't, and it's immediately clear that there's some serious sexual tension between the pair. What ensures us from here are a bunch of glitches strung together, brief flickers of obstacle for the pair to overcome, including past trauma from Noah and ex-boyfriend who came back into the picture, and half-Earth's attempt at a love triangle involving nice guy Mario. With all that in mind, let's step into the ending and see how this one unfolds. Why does Nick kiss Noah? When Nick learns that Noah's boyfriend back home as he cheated on her with Noah's best friend, no less, Noah wants to make them jealous. Nick decided to be the one who wants to kiss her, snapping pictures and pushing off anyone else who gets close to her. Rafaela brings Dan in, unaware of the cheating, and it complicates everything. He could tell their parents that the two siblings have the hearts for one another, and it brings up a lot of tension. But fret not, dear readers, Dan keeps his mouth shut. Who is sending the threatening message? Throughout the movie, Noah continues to receive messages telling her she will pay for what she's done. At first, it seems like it may be Ronnie. After being beaten by Noah in a car race earlier in the film and humiliated in front of his buddies, gives Nick a message to send to Noah, and that comes from beating him up. At this point, it's worth diving back and looking into Noah's past, which is full of unresolved trauma regarding her father. She has a knocked tattoo on her neck as a reminder to keep herself strong and not let herself be hurt again. As we soon learned, Noah's father was a rally driver but also abusive. Through various flashbacks, we see her hiding in a closet while Rafaela has to deal with the brunt of his violence. However, all of this changed when he tried to kill her with a knife. He'd only touched Rafaela before, but when he turned on her, he was arrested. The thing is, he was actually released 2 weeks back. Noah's testimony was key to getting her dad incinerated, so now it becomes clear that he is the one who sent the messages. When Anna, Nick's lover, locks her in the closet, it brings back memories of her father finding her. Nick bursts in and manages to save her, and they head out together. Do Nick and Noah get together? When Nick and Noah head back to bed and spend the night together, the farmer tells his stepsister that he should go back to his room before they are spotted together. The thing is, it's too late. Will walks in on the pair in bed together, and Noah believes that despite this being a sin, that they should make the most of it if this is the end, especially as Will is dismayed and upset at his son. As a result of this, the pair head down to the beach and end up having love right there on the sand. After the deed, as they sit and watch the sunrise together, the pair contemplate whether they should just run away. Before that, Noah wants to get it on again, but they are run out of thing. Nick heads to the store and buys some, but in the absence, Ronnie sneaks into the car and takes Noah. After drugging her, he takes off in Nick's old car. What happens during the car chase? Nick and the family get the police involved and know that Ronnie is that one working alongside Noah's father. Ronnie takes her to their secret hideout where Noah's father happened to be. The pair are working together given they actually shared a car together in prison. Noah's father is the ringleader in all this, and he phones through to Rafaela just as the police find all the threatening notes in Noah's room. Noah's father shot out of a ransom and a meat spot by a runabout down by the dock. He is lone wolf thaw, and it doesn't take long for him to turn on Ronnie's and smack him down, tying him up and leaving him in the garage. Nick sources out that they can track the car down to the base through the insurance details. Given those are still in Nick's name, it turns out that the car is in Lupe's garage, and they chase after Noah, who happens to be driving with his father, holding her up at gunpoint. A big chase ensues, but when Noah's dad tries to kill Rafaela as they pass by, Will manages to save the day and block the bullet with the bag of ransom money. Nick chases after Noah and her father in a car of his own, and they race down the dock. They are at the end of the line, and with both cars facing one another, they pull off a crazy car stunt, including moving the steering wheel and slamming on the handbrake, which was forced down earlier in the movie. As a result, Noah's father is shot at by the detective, and it seems his nightmare is finally over. How does Culpa Mia end? The police find Ronnie tied up in the garage and presumably arrest him while the family are back to normal. As Noah and Nick continue to spend time together, and while they lie in bed together, Nick promises not to let anyone hurt her over again. In fact, Nick tells her that he loves her. Noah hopes that they stay together for a long time, But as the camera pans out, Wright, Rafaela and Will stand together and decided that they need to do something to put an end to this romance. Culpa Mia aka My Fault is quite confused about what is it. It is a teen drama, a family revenge story, and a tale of underground fights and racing. All this merges together is what is directed Domingo González Culpa Mia. Culpa Mia 2023 movie synopsis and plot summary. It begins with mother-daughter Rafaela and Noah traveling across the country to move in with the farmer's new husband. The latter is upset at the move as her life is uprooted, but she then meets her stepbrother. After initially repealing with a rather not so suitable for the occasion outfit, getting kicked out of a car, arriving at a party, and earning a ticket into necklace life, Noah's get involved with the new crowd. All this is happening. The promiscuity leads to romantic tension that sees the two engaging in a relationship. This, however, has its ebbs and flaws when things finally get clear and the two decided to do as they wish. Noah's past, following a series of warnings, catches up with her. This leads to a high-speed chase, a tale of redemption, and an ending. What exactly did go down at the end of Amazon Prime's Culpa Mia? Who was threatening Noah? Although the film Noah was getting threatening letter sent from anonymous sources, initially it appears as if it was Ronnie. However, audience later learned that Noah was getting anonymous notes from her father. Why was Noah's father sending her threatening notes? Noah's father has a violent streak and had been sentenced to prison. Noah's testimony proved crucial to Jonah's conviction, as Jonas had not forgotten that and blamed Noah for taking his life away. He also despised her for her role in keeping him away from his one true love, a steering wheel, hence that he wanted Noah to know that someone was after her and sent the notes as a method to unsettle her. What was the scar on Noah's stomach? The scar on Noah's stomach was from the knife attack from Jonas. That was revealed when Nick's father told him about his stepbrother's old life. It came from the time Jonas confronted her in a wardrobe. This also resulted in Noah's having a panic attack when she is shut in the wardrobe at a party. Who was helping Jonas plant the notes and get close to Noah? Of course, Ronnie. Nick's racing rival and friend was the one who was helping Jonas. The two knew each other as if they had been cellmates. Why did Jonas double cross Ronnie? There could be two reasons from this. One, Jonas did not intend to split the money with anyone and just wanted to make it to be able to have the best that money can buy. Hence, when Ronnie had captured Noah and gotten her to the hideout, Jonas took him out of the picture. 2. He may have been disturbed that his associate was trumped in an illegal race by a girl. That did seems to be a factor that it's unlikely to be a bigger reason than the first one. Ronnie was just a pawn and a henchman in this plan. How did the police find Noah? Jonas demanded $1 million for Noah and instructed Rafaela and her husband to wait when the bag at a particular location. Nick showed up there in a car and had the police officer jump in a shotgun. She tried to tell him that this was not one of these underground races. At that point, she probed further to understand whether the toy red car, one that Noah had given him prior to the fight, was a replica of the one he had lost in a bit. He spoke about how he was upset about that, as she was still paying the insurance. They saw him put the piece together as Ronnie had taken the car and was identified as a person of interest in this case. The insurance tracker was used to locate the red vehicle and Noah's whereabouts. What did Jonas do once Noah's location was discovered? He obviously would not have known and continued along on his plan anyways. It was to have Noah drive the car to the location at gunpoint and make her watch him shoot her mother. What he didn't anticipate was a high-speed pursuit with the cops and Nick in his tail. Who saved Rafaela? When Jonas was driving past the rendezvous, he opened fire at his ex-wife. She was saved with her husband raised the bag of photos to block the path of the bullet. It seems feeble but a reflect action that was nevertheless timely and effective. How did the high-speed pursuit end? Noah drove the car at the gunpoint but ran out of the road as she drove onto a jetty. She used her skill to turn and then find herself facing Nick's car. She gave him a gesture indicating the 60-20 rule that they had discussed earlier in the film and raced towards each other. As they neared a collision, they used the 60-20 to turn. Noah and Nick ducked as they turned, and the car's windows were parallel to each other. Jonas, who was sitting upright, was shot 3 times at point-blank range by the policewoman in Nick's car. Culpa Mia 2023 movie ending explained. Once the dust had settled, Rafaela actually stopped the paramedics and lifted the bedsheets from the corpse to see if her husband had actually been killed. She then rushed to Noah and embraced her while mouthing her thanks to Nick. This was a sign of acceptance, as she was earlier not too pleased to realize that her underage daughter was sleeping and interested in her stepbrother. What happened with Nick and Noah in the end? Noah and Nick spent the night together in her room, and Nick timed his I love you to perfection, which led Noah to question where he had picked it up. The duo claimed that this was just the beginning of their story. As the camera panned out, the two parents looked at the balcony and window. Rafaela then spoke about that they need to do something to stop the romance between them. Prime Video shares first look at London set teen romance remark. Prime Video have released first look images of new teen romance My Fault London. The film is an English language remake of a Spanish language film My Fault or Culpa Mia, which was adapted from the first installment of Arthur Mercedes Ron's culpable trilogy of novels. It stars Asha Banks and Matthew Brooms as Noah and Nick, two teenagers whose paths first cross as their parents get married and they move into Nick's dad's fancy London home. The synopsis continues. Noah meets bad boy Nick and there is an immediate attraction between the two. Noah spends the summer adjustment to her new life, making new friends from Nick's various circle and navigating a complicated relationship with him while they fight to keep the attraction at bay. Noah will ultimately be forced to deal with her devastating past while dealing in love for the first time. The supporting cast for My Fault London also feature Ray Fearon, Ava Levish, Sam Bichon, and Emilia Noworthy. Amazon MGM Vice President James Farrell announced the project in May, saying, "We knows fans around the world will be excited to hear that Prime Video will deliver them a brand new British remake of the first book of Mercedes Ron's best-selling culpable trilogy with My Fault London. We are delighted to be investing in rising talent Asha Banks and Matthew Brooms as Nick and Noah, bringing this what-renowned story to life through a British lens. My Fault London has not yet received a UK release date, but production has wrapped up on the project. The Spanish language sequel Culpa Mia arrives on Prime Video in December 2023. What if you fall in love with your stepbrother? The turmoil of making the right decision between choosing your happiness or the ones of your loved ones is portrayed perfectly in the film titled Culpa Mia or My Fault. Directed by Domingo González, the film has been generating popularity among viewers after snaps of the film featuring Noah and Nick and the chemistry between them got shared on Instagram Reels. Produced by Alex de la Glasses and Caroline Bang, the film focuses on Noah, a teenage girl who follows her mother to her new husband's house. Once at her mother's new husband's house, Noah meets her new stepbrother Nick. Soon the forbidden romance between the two starts after the two started at the wrong feet. Even though the viewers loved the chemistry between the leads, they felt it was one of the trashiest venture done by Amazon. Viewers felt Amazon is promoting incest between siblings, and many viewers have deemed that the movie to be atrocious. Viewers felt the film's locked focus and the success it received was due to the chemistry between the leads. Pakimai's film undertook the production of the film, and the lead cast of the film stars Nicole Wallace playing the role of Noah, Nick's stepsister and his love interest, Gabriel Guevara playing the role of Nick, Noah's love interest, Marta Hayes playing the role of Rafaela, Ian Sanchez playing the role of William Lister, Eva Rose playing the role of Gina, Victor Verona playing the role of Leon, Fran Berenguer playing the role of Ronnie, and Ivan Miscu playing the role of Jonas. My Fault was brought to the audience via Amazon Prime on 8 June 2023. Culpa is based on a novel of the same name by Mercedes Ron and has a runtime of 2 hours. My Fault ending explained. The film begins with Noah, a teenager, being forced to leave a life she built behind to live with her mother's new husband. Rafaela is excited to have a life with her new husband, but Noah is skeptical of her new life. Noah is seen traveling in a car to Rafaela's new husband's lavish mansion, and the mother-daughter do fight their way. Once Noah arrived at her mother's new husband's mansion, she refuses to adhere to the rules or listen to her mother's instructions. Noah meets Nick while searching for something to eat in the family's refrigerator. Nick has a mysterious aura surrounding him, and he tries to scare Noah using his beloved pet dog. The first meeting between the new sibling is awkward and filled with tension. Noah's rebellious nature was something that began attracting Nick to her. The first dinner as a family and is a disaster when Nick and Noah decided to leave dinner halfway through. Their parents instruct them to leave in a car together, and halfway through the highway, Noah decided to poke fun at Nick for not having a mother and affiliation for him speeding up. Nick forces Noah out of the car midway and leave in anger after Noah's remark about him not knowing his mother's love. Noah's phone ran out of battery, but luckily for her, a kind stranger offered to drop her home. It is also revealed that Nick is not the nice guy he pretends to be. Nick is someone who boxes to calm down and enjoy being the life of the party. The stranger turned out to be an acquaintance of Nick, and Noah agrees to go with him to a party Nick is going to. At the party, there were several women desperate to grab the attention of rich daddy's boy Nick, as it gets revealed that Nick left to enjoy a party rather than to work on a case. Nick helps Noah get home safely after she consumes a spiked drink. Noah tries to blackmail Nick by telling him that she will tell their parents of Nick abandoning Noah in the middle of the road. Nick is distracted by Noah's presence at the illegal car race he took part in. Nick ends up winning his first race, but he is bothered by Noah kissing another dude at the race. Noah is heartbroken after she gets to know Diane, her boyfriend, is cheated on her as she receives picture of him in an intimate position with another girl. Noah decided to get back at Dan by kissing a random stranger, but Nick stabs her before things got out of hand. Noah happily agrees to Nick's deal of him kissing her for a picture, and she turns to their home. After the kiss, the two realize they had feelings for each other, but Noah continued to send the pictures to Dan to prove her worth. Noah agrees to race against Ronnie after he insulted her abilities while she was waiting for Gina's in Nick's car. Noah wins against Ronnie to realize that he has made a fool of her. Noah continued to care for Noah even though he lost his favorite car due to her. Noah carries the trauma of witnessing domestic violence as her father was abusive towards her mother. Thus, she doesn't like fights. Noah and Nick decided to distance themselves from each other, realizing they are polar apart from each other. After several more incidents between the two, they begin to feel closer to each other. Did Noah and Nick get there happily ever after? As the film moves forward, it gets revealed that Noah is receiving threatening messages throughout the film, and she thinks they are from Ronnie. Nick decided to protect Noah after learning about her father being released from prison. Rafaela was right for her daughter's safety as she was sure her ex-husband would try to harm her as she testified against him in court. Nick and Noah realized that society would never approve of their relationship, but they cannot stop themselves from falling in love. The duo decided to spend a night together before parting ways forever. The duo went to a convenience store to buy a thing, and Noah waited for Nick to return for the store in the car. Noah is kidnapped after Ronnie appears and forcefully takes her. On gaining consciousness, Noah realized that her father was the real mastermind behind everything. In exchange for Noah, her father demanded $1 million cash from Rafaela. After an intense car scene, Noah is rescued after her father is shot by the cops. Noah and Noah both made it out alive from the situation. The films end with Noah sneaking into Nick's room and the two resuming their relationship against their prior decision of parting ways as Nick confesses to his feelings. The film ends with the two deciding to keep their relationship secret from everyone. Thought they didn't have the happy ending everyone wishes they had. They were happy by the film's end, and their pair decided that they had to do something to stop their relationship. My fault ending that Who Sent Noah the Threatening Ghost. Originally titled Culpa Mia, Amazon Prime's My Fault is a Spanish romance drama film directed by Domingo González. The film featured Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara as the romantic lead, Noah and Nick. After Noah's mother Rafaela marries Will Lister, a wealthy businessman, Noah has to uproot her life and move away from her friends and boyfriend, Dan. Starting out fresh in Lister's mansion, Noah meets Nicholas, Lister's perfect son who dabbles in gangs and drag racing in secret. Soon, Noah and Nick find themselves falling for each other despite their differences, but when Noah's past catches up to her, she thinks take a turn for the couple and their family. If you are curious to find out how Nick and Noah whirlwind romance unfold, is everything you need to know about the ending of My Fault. The film opened with 17 years old Noah Berenguer moving out of her old home with her mother Rafaela. When the duo arrives at Lister's mansion, Noah internationally acts out to convey her annoying with the situation. However, after she sees her bedroom decorated by Rafaela to Noah's liking, she stops being so hard on her mother. Later, Noah bumps into Will's 21-year-old son Nick and his dog Thor. The pair intensely get off on the wrong foot, establish their dynamic. Later, when the family goes out for dinner, Nick bails early in the evening and his father asks him to drop Noah off at the house. However, on the car ride, Noah and Nick kicks out of his car in the middle of the road after the latter brings up his mother in the argument. Stranded in the dark middle of nowhere, Noah managed to hitch a ride with Mario, who happened to pass by the same road. In conversation with Mario, Noah discovers Nick lied to his father about work and is headed to a party instead. As a result, Noah shows up at the party with Mario and realizes Nick's clean-cut, rich boy persona is fake and that he had a wild, spoiled party animal. Afterward, Noah befriends Gina, whose boyfriend Leon is Nick's close friend, and starts spending time with Nick's friend group. One night at a gang race, Noah receives a text with image of his boyfriend Dan cheating on her with her best friend, Betty. The same lead Noah to get drunk at the party and make out with a random guy. However, Nick intervenes and finds out Noah wants to take a picture of her kissing another guy to send to Dan. Offering to help Noah take the picture, Nick kisses her. After their first kiss, the pair becomes drawn to one another and steal moments with each behind their family's back. Although Nick voiced concerns about getting involved with his teenage stepsister, he fails to end their affair. Meanwhile, Noah periodically receives several enemies-threatening notes at the same time. Nick gets in a brawl with Ronnie after he disrespects Noah bitter about their race. Eventually, Nick takes Noah to one of the underground fight club Nick frequents. Once Noah realizes what is happening, she tries to stop Nick from entering the competition, but Nick discredits her, claiming the only does to blow off some steam. After Noah watches Nick ruthlessly beat his opponent, Noah leaves and breaks up with Nick. Months pass with Noah keeping her distance from Nick. In the meantime, menacing notes keep finding their way to Noah, who keeps them forgotten in a box. Soon after, when Nick and Noah's taboo relationship starts to mend, we'll find about them. Soon after Noah wins the car race against Ronnie, Nick's rival gang leader, she starts finding ominous notes addressed to her. Ronnie only calls Noah to race against him as a dirty ploy to ensure Nick's defeat against him in the competition. What he doesn't count on is actually getting beat by Noah. Noah's father had a successful car rallying career and had taught Noah how to drive. Therefore, Noah easily wins the race against Ronnie, which hurts his ego especially because he lost against a woman. Due to the same, Noah assumes Ronnie in behind the notes. Later, after Ronnie kidnaps Noah, it reinforces her belief of the same. However, when Noah woke up tied inside a dark room, the person who waits her turns out to be someone he never accepted to see again in her life. Jonas, Noah's father. When Noah was a kid, her father's career took a fall. Shortly after, Jonas started physically abusing Rafaela. Things worsened and Jonas tried to kill Noah with a knife, although he failed. He left behind a jagged scar on Noah's stomach. Eventually, a court case was held against Jonas, in which Noah delivered a testimony that played a vital role in Jonas' conviction. Therefore, Jonas detects his family and wants to ruin their lives. He is bitter about his failed career and expects Noah and Rafaela's lives to decline at the date. Due to the same, Jonas abused his wife and kid in the past and now sends Noah threatening notes to torment her. Soon after Jonas kidnaps Noah, the police investigates Noah's abduction and finds CCTV footage of gang members dragging Noah away from Nick's car. Although the pair's faces are not easily visible, Nick quickly recognizes one as Ronnie. After Rafaela and Will realize one of Nick's enemies kidnaps Noah, they ironically disappoint in him. Shortly after, Jonas calls Rafaela and demands $1 million from her in ransom. Will swiftly takes over the call once it becomes too much of his wife and agrees to hand out location with Jonas. The next day, Will and Rafaela arrives at the agreed upon location with $1 million in cash, while several cops shadow the area covertly. Although Will and the police advise against Nick's presence, he still drives to the scene and hides in the distance in the car. As time ticks by, Jonas fails to show up. Eventually, Nick realizes that since Ronnie has the car he wins from Nick is the illegal race, Nick can track him with his insurance tracker. By tracking the car, Nick finds Jonas' location and drives to the spot with the detective beside him. As Nick arrives, Jonas comes out in Nick's old car with Noah's behind the steering wheel. Nick and Jonas engage in a high-speed car chase with Jonas holding Noah at gunpoint and instructing her. As Jonas drives past the square where Rafaela is waiting for him, he puts out a gun and tries to kill her. Nevertheless, Will saves Rafaela and Noah quickly drive away from her mother. Soon, Jonas' car faces up against Nick's in a showdown at the pier. Jonas sold a gun to Nick and Noah decided to take a risk. Through a worthless understanding, Noah and Nick drive toward one another at full speed. However, right before a collision, their cars drift, granting the detective the perfect vantage point to shoot Jonas. Afterward, the authorities carried away Jonas' dead body and Noah reunited with her mother, both alive and well. Throughout the film, Nick and Noah have to keep their relationship a secret from their parent since they are step-siblings, hence their relationship is mildly incestuous. Moreover, Nick is a few years older than Noah, although their age gap is not vast. Noah is a teenager. As a result, Rafaela is understandably against their relationship. The couple faces several other speed bumps along the way. Nevertheless, in the end, they find their way back to each other. When Will finds out about Nick and Noah before the latter's kidnapping, he is against their relationship. As such, Will tells Nick to stay away from Noah once things settle down. Consequently, once Noah is out of the danger, their parents try to keep Nick and Noah away from each other. Nevertheless, the couple sneaks behind their back and finds way to be together. In the end, after Nick sneaks into Noah's bedroom, the two sleep together. Afterward, Nick confesses his love to Noah. Earlier in the story, Noah tells Gina that the perfect time for a guy to voice his love for a girl is after love with her. By doing so, he is establishing that he really loves her and is not just saying it because he wants to sleep with her. Nick learned about the same through Gina's boyfriend Leon and decided to share his feeling with Noah at the moment that will be perfect for her. Although the couple stays together by the film's end, their parents, now aware of their relationship, are vehemently against it and will likely try to put an end to it in the future.